Hi, great to see everybody. Thank you for taking a few minutes to spend some time with me on my blog's page, A Lampstand. Take some time to like and follow. I try to post content at least on a monthly basis that I hope is helpful to you. But I'm doing something new. I'm going live for the first time on this platform because I think that I have some ways that can help you all who are struggling with working from home or working out of the home while your children are home from school and they have assignments online, or they have a packet full of assignments from their teachers to help their learning continue, and you cannot figure out how to get it all in or even how to do it in the first place. You're super stressed out by all of the resources that are being posted online from companies and websites and YouTube channels and celebrities who are reading their books aloud, and zoos that are going live with their safaris. And there's just a ton of content and resources out there to help, and that are all well-intentioned, but it is a little overwhelming. And so this live is not specifically for those moms and dads who have it all together, who are loving their kids being home, who have the structure set up to get the work done, who are even going above and beyond the assignments from school, and they're teaching their students, their children, other things like gardening or like plants or finances. These are just some of the things I've seen on my timeline. Even though what I have to share today I think will help you too. This is for the parents who see the resources on their timeline and it stresses them out. They can't get their kids to do what they're asking them to do. 30 minutes in, they're ready to throw in the towel. We've seen the memes about the parents drinking on the job and the kids getting suspended and wanting transfers out of their class, but they're really talking about their own children. So this is for you. The first tip I want to share with you is try anything for 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes. Don't worry about what the assignment says. Don't worry about how many hours have to be done or how many pages have to be completed. Just set aside 15 minutes for the work to be done. And you can start there. If you need less time, go for it. If you think you can do more time, go for it. But start with 15 minutes. That's really manageable. Communicate to your children that we're only going to do a segment of the work or all of the work for the day, if that's all you can manage, for 15 minutes. And just stick to it and do that, get success from it. And then tomorrow, start with 16 minutes and increase the stamina over time. A lot of what teachers know about our students is that a lot of them have the capability to complete their work, but the stamina and the perseverance to stay focused on the work for a certain amount of time is not yet there for a lot of children. And you may be noticing that about your own students, and that's okay. You can build stamina, just like you can build stamina as a runner, as a weightlifter, as a writer, by practicing it. You can, hey Sharon, thanks for joining me, do that with completing school tasks. So first tip, 15 minutes. Start there, end there, feel successful, build from there. The second tip is use a visual timer. It can be your stove timer, your cell phone timer on your iPad, a kitchen magnet timer on the that we used to stick on the refrigerator. Use a timer that you all can see, so that when someone is tempted to give up or to argue or to stay unfocused or get off task, you can look at the timer and say, we've got 10 minutes left, keep going, so that you can see the light at the end. Okay, so 2 very simple tips. 1, 15 minutes. If that's all you can manage, that's all you do. 2, use a visual timer. The third tip I have, and you might have seen it in the picture that I posted with the alert that I was going to go live of my son. He wanted to do some work at the table today, which he's not really doing a lot of work right now, even though he's home from school because he's running a fever. So we're working on getting that taken care of first. But in the picture, you'll notice, and I'm just going to use my husband's binder here, you see that he's writing on a binder. So a lot of times students have a hard time writing, and not because they aren't able to write, but because the core strength and the stamina isn't there for them to write for long periods of time. So if you give them a slant to write on the table, and you place their paper on the slant, it gives them a better vantage point for getting their work done in a way that helps their posture and their pencil grip last longer. Okay, that's just a little trick that an occupational therapist taught me. Her name is Melanie Batista. I want to give her credit for sharing that with me, even though that's not a new idea. And for some kids who don't necessarily have trouble with core strength or pencil grip or finishing writing, just the novelty of writing on a slant might give them what they need to keep going. So third tip is give them something to write on that brings the paper closer, slants it towards their core, and makes it easier for them to write. It looks cool, but really it does have a pretty strong developmental reason. It has strong developmental reasoning for why it works. Another simple trick, and this is the last one I'll talk about today, is when your students are completing their work, if it's paperwork or if it's online work that they have to draft on paper first, take the paper and get tape or adhesive that is safe for your paint and tape the work to the wall and let your students stand up and do their work on the wall. If you have children who don't particularly like to sit down and do their work, that's a great way to help them get it done. And for the same reasons that working on a slant is. So, really quick review. 1, 15 minutes. Just do the work for 15 minutes. Don't do more. Try not to do less. If you need to, though, no judgment, no pressure, do less. If you can do more, do more. But day 1, start your work for that amount of time for 15 minutes, and then build a minute per day. Use a visual timer that keeps you all focused. Let the students write on a slant, use a binder, or write on the wall. I hope those tips help you. I'll come back tomorrow to share a few other things. Hopefully, just those 4 simple tips will help you moms who are really struggling with this time make it a little bit easier for you. All right, have a great night. Stay healthy and be safe. Okay, now how do you turn this off?